And hello, this is Ian, CEO at We Offer Wellness, and I'm here today with Alex. Is it okay calling you Alex rather than Alexandra?
If you can call me Alexandra, that would be great because I've literally just changed my name and reclaimed my name. So Alexandra is great.
Well, I'm glad I checked then, only because we've been emailing as Alex, but so it's come through as Alexandra. Okay, look, wonderful. Alex, thanks for doing this today. Thanks for being part of what we're doing with We Offer Wellness. Okay, and really, this is about finding out about you and really what you do. So let's start with where are you? Where are you located?
I'm based in East Yorkshire, in between Hull and York.
So very central then, in the sense of, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I guess it's a little place called Pocklington, yeah, in between Hull and York.
And give us an idea, because I'm pretty much presuming here you can't see the sea. So what's the landscape like around where you live? Give us a sense of it.
It's very green. There's a lot of countryside. I literally live in the middle of nowhere in a tiny little village. So I'm surrounded by countryside. There's lots of beautiful hikes and woodland nearby as well.
And is that important to you? Are you a nature girl in that sense?
Yeah, nature's been a huge tool for me in my own healing journey and using that to reconnect with myself, I guess. So spending time in nature and living somewhere so remote has been a really big part of my healing journey.
Look, wonderful. And let's talk a little bit about that, please, in terms of, what turned you on then to this world that fascinates us all and piques our curiosity, and there's so much going on. And where does it all start with you then, please?
So I guess I've always kind of been interested in holistic therapies since I guess in my late teens. I had a friend who was suffering with a chronic illness and she was using um I guess ancient wisdom and therapies that were not mainstream and I'd not heard of before. And I was so curious and interested. And I think I've just always kind of steered away from pharmaceuticals, which is actually interesting because I spent a lot of time working in the pharmaceutical industry. And so there's always been a deep interest and a knowing. And early in my 20s, when I left university, I started delving deep into self-help books and personal development. I kind of always had a resistance in terms of what people would think, and I wasn't really surrounded by people who were kind of into this work. So over, I guess, about 8 years, I'd read plenty of books about, the law of attraction, but it wasn't really that deep or rich, and I couldn't really integrate it into my life, and there was still a lot of resistance there in, I guess, the realm that we live in. And I had a well-paid job in the pharmaceutical industry, so I kind of, I guess, hid a lot of who I really was and the things that really interested me. Um, and then a couple of years ago, my relationship ended, and I just thought that this was an opportunity to go all in. And that is exactly what I did. I kind of pulled on all the tools that I had, but I didn't have, I guess, like a breadth of tools, and I only was using what I had at the time. And then I connected with a beautiful person who introduced me to the power of sound healing and Reiki. And I then decided to leave my corporate job and I headed to Bali to deepen my training in Reiki. I then certified as a health coach, and ever since then, I've just been exploring different modalities to add into my work for my own healing and also to share now with other people who are, feeling really stuck in their lives. And what I came to realize quite early on in my journey was this isn't just about feeling better because I had so many tools that could help me feel better, but I still found myself in the same cycles, repeating the same behaviors and just still feeling stuck. So I guess I've come to a place now where I really combine all of the tools with an integrative approach to wellness, looking at, the food that we put into our bodies, but also how we can really step into a space that often feels very uncomfortable, but ultimately leads us to that inner liberation. So we can live a life that feels good and like ours, not just the mainstream way of living, which so many of us end up feeling ill and really unwell, I guess.
This is wonderful. What's great is one that you put yourself into the story. This is, you're in this story, you're doing this for yourself, but also you quite clearly see you've got a lot there that you want to sort of share with people and, the kind of overspill, because all this learning you've been doing, all this experience, all this practice, and there's this natural, I want other people to be connected to this. I want other people to experience this because other people kind of, wanting it, needing it, and perhaps don't have somewhere to find it or make that connection. All the things you've been talking about. Isn't it great that you managed to kind of break through and find yourself into that place that perhaps feels more being at home yourself, which is how I kind of understood what you were
Yeah.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I think often it's something that we don't even know we need until we find that connection with ourselves. It's like we're going through the world kind of just trying to survive, and all that's what all of us are trying to do. But actually, when we come to this place where we're deeply connected to ourselves, everything else just becomes so much clearer.
It's wonderful, isn't it? I have lots of conversations like this, and it's good to be able to have conversations that are meaningful and that kind of suggests there's something more than, you know, there's much more than just Emmerdale Farm and Coronation Street. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's things that can be nothing wrong with Emmerdale Farm, Coronation Street, but yeah, there's so much more to life to be discovered, connected to. And that sounds where you are, even to the point of actually getting that ticket, going out to Bali, going, because it were easy to not do all that, but you've done it and you're doing it and you're part of it. So somebody comes into you then and they're looking for Reiki, for example. And are you working online as well as in person? How are you doing it?
So I do my coaching online and my Reiki in person. So I do combined Reiki and coaching in person. Um, yeah, that's why I do it.
Yeah, and that's what's great about the times we live in. We're not restricted anymore, in terms of somebody could come and connect. Well, from Bali can connect with you now from where you're living in that part of Yorkshire. This is just kind of it's very liberating in that sense. So
Yeah.
somebody comes in, they read what you've been writing in the description, they see any photographs you've added, they watch this video and they go, Alexandra, that's a person I'm connecting with. I'm going to find out more. They go through the process, we connect them with you. Do you have a discovery call with people?
Yes, I offer a free 30-minute discovery call. And I also have some free tools and resources as well, so people can really get an understanding and a feel for my work as well, prior to making that decision.
Yeah, absolutely. So even watch this video, it becomes a personal connection and a kind of, yeah, this is a person that I'm resonating with, vibing with, and I get, and I think we could do some work. So look, people, please do come and find Alexandra, have the experience, have those discussions, see what happens. I'm sure it'll be amazing. A wellness tip, Alexandra. Do you have one for us?
My wellness tip is lean into the spaces that feel uncomfortable, because that is where our freedom lies.
Nice and simple, and it's there, isn't it? It doesn't need all the fluff, does it? And all the extra layers. It's literally just getting to the core of stuff. And yeah, absolutely wonderful. Yeah, it's great. Thank you for being part of Real for Wellness and part of what we're doing. We need people like you who love you, clearly you love what you do and are passionate about what you do and are kind of, self leaning into all the possibilities that are there waiting to happen and then share that with people. So I think that's like a natural drive in yourself. That's great. We need people like that in the world. And something needs to happen, doesn't it, to make things better?
Mm.
So, Alexandra, thank you ever so much for doing this today. We could go on for a long time. I know that, but you come across wonderfully. So, thank you for being part of what we're doing. All right.
Thank you so much.
And people come and connect with Alexandra and have an experience, which I'm sure will be healing and amazing in lots of ways.
Thank you.